This is a pretty good testing ground for them to see how well they'd hold up against a Div 1 team, and T1 of course did great recently in the regional finals.
Because again, it does feel like Carl has been playing a bit more greedy in the mid lane per se, and well, with this kind of draft, I don't think T1 can afford to do that this time. As Whitemon top lane, that's a beautiful spear out from GY, and Yif is going to find the first blood. GY just reading that angle very nicely, and
Gabby, he can't apply Shadow Poison stacks onto the Morris to get some harassment off. They will move Whitemon in for that 6-minute rune, and they also have Zephyr around, so they could look for a nice kill opportunity here.
X is there on Citrus. Torrent will connect, but they seem to just want the power rune. Still, regen is going to be bought, but no, never mind. They're going right in. Arrow does land with the boat to follow up, but a nice nightmare. It won't be enough, though. Menu Ping trying to save the day. Isn't even going to be able to snipe the regen rune from them. And eventually, Menu Ping should die. But he will buy out a bit of time, but eventually his time will come. And Carl will finish him with the Tidebringer hit. Nice rotation from Menu Ping to try and save, but very intrigued to see how this Helm of the Dominator goes and what kind of creep he does decide to take over with that Dominator. Though speaking of, Raw is going to be there into the arrow, but a nice nightmare. It's not going to dodge the arrow though. BT faded, eventually to drop. As T1 do rotate both supports down, back in onto Menu Ping. They should find another. I thought maybe that nightmare timing was nice, John, but it was a bit off the mark.
Looks like that will come from the pressure down bot. Dominator already up. No real big creep coming out yet, but this should allow them to get that shove in on the objective.
Oh, Menu Ping in trouble down a bot lane again. He's just been completely surrounded by the balls and creeps, and eventually is going to fall as Citrus. He tried to rotate, and he's going to try and go for a trade out as the arena has been dropped. GY and Yif show up, but the boat's going to be there. Back in onto Citrus, and they've got the Ember. It is not a good fight whatsoever for Team ORCA now. They're going to try to run out of this, but it's not looking good. GY is going to be the third to fall as Yif is the only man left standing.
If they find a good angle, they might be able to finally punish Cuckoo here.
Perhaps. Cuckoo does have friends around, but they are just in the mid-river right now. Carl, no, he's going to be targeted, but he got the boat out in time. That's going to make him a lot tankier, and quite frankly, impossible to kill him off. So Carl, he'll get Fiend Script up here by Menu Ping, but the disruption is there from Whitemon, and now they've got the Bane down. Carl, he'll turn right back around onto Citrus with the X out into the turret. They've got the Ember controlled up, but can they hold him down? Not quite. Meanwhile, Cuckoo is going to walk out of there, and there he comes the turnaround into the arrow onto Yif. The Weaver is going to be able to get that time lapse off, but is still being chased down here by Gabby and should eventually drop as the torrent does land. And the best that's gone right so far for ORCA is the fact that they got Whitemon. But they might find Cuckoo now as he's quite low. But can they find him in the tree line? They do. Citrus will take him down, but Gabby is cleaning up on the Wraith King. Still Citrus, he does get Zephyr on that Mirana, but it may cost his own life. And it will, Carl. Able to pick it up. So a 3-for-3 trade in the mid lane.
This could be the opportunity for ORCA to regroup, look for another angle, look for another hero to jump down, and just start getting those Blink Spears, Blink Arena Spears going, and maybe take out the Kunkka in time before that boat does fly through.
Well, I don't think they can, John. Carl is proving to be a little bit too tanky. As Nightmare is not going to dodge out the X-Back either. Arrow is going to land. GY still in massive trouble as Carl just wipes him out. What can you find here, ORCA? They're going to try on Whitemon, but it's still not going to be a good trade. They need more than that. They will at least get the Shadow Demon. There's Menu Ping. That's a target. They've got Zephyr with the Fiend Script out, but here come the rotations. They've got to get this kill quick and just run the hell out of there as Gabby has joined in onto Menu Ping. They might find a 2-for-2. And it will be. It still feels very favorable here for T1, John. I mean, Helm of the Overlord is available on Cuckoo, so got plenty of damage, plenty of auras to help out, but it is going to be scouted out here by the Ember. Citrus is going to get X though. The Hawk, it did spot him, and they've got the arrow. Oh no, this is not the way to start for Team ORCA. They automatically lose their mid-Ember. Though he can buy back, but he has no remnants available to really just remnant back to. Arena, though, has been dropped. GY going to try and go after the back lines. As he does go after that Shadow Demon from Whitemon. He is still alive, still buying a bit more time as the arrow does land onto Yif. They are still just trying to deal with the Bane. They've got him down as they're onto BT faded now. They've got the Medusa surrounded, but never mind. Here comes Citrus with a massive sleight of fist. so much damage flying out. They might even find Gabby. The first life at the very least as Carl is dropping low himself. What a buyback out from Citrus, as Gabby's the only man left standing. And he is going to drop eventually. T1, such a great start, but the buyback out from Citrus with the massive sleight of fist, it just cost them so much on the Dire.
Roche is low enough for them to take. He even got a lucky invis read for BT Faded to ensure that he could clean up the kill.
Gonna be dodged here by BT. They're gonna commit for this. Keep in mind, you don't have arena for this team fight, so it could be a little bit awkward. A lot of patience as Torrent is going to land. Whitemon going to juke out the spear as GY. Going to rush in on his own, trying to get something set up for his team, but now the boat is going to fly in. Still, they are chasing down that Mars, and they've got GY down as Citrus. He is still going after Whitemon, but it is not working out. So instead, they'll try out to Cuckoo, but they'll lose the Aegis. As Cuckoo somehow run out of there. He has actually made it, but not quite. There's your sleight of fist from Citrus. It gets the job done. It's T1. Who are we aiming? They'll get menu ping. Citrus, he'll be able to TP in time. T1, however, they take this Roshan very fast, so ORCA, they don't have much time to get here, and it looks like they won't make it anyway. As the Medusa illusions do come in, but everything is picked up here for T1. Team ORCA, they might still force the fighters. Oh, Arena Spear is out, but it wasn't an illusion. Now with the X out, they've got BT faded. Stonegaze is going to be popped, but Whitemon is there with the banish into the arrow, but no, it's not going to land. And now Citrus, he'll jump in. Whitemon is probably going to die first and will. They're onto the Medusa though. BT faded. He is not that tanky right now. They just completely surround him and take him out. You saw the coordination there from T1, John. I mean, they went for Whitemon on the Shadow Demon, and
This leaves you with the same hole when Torrent Storm flies out, and we saw what T1 did with that spell. So all about positioning for BT Faded as Roche does begin here for T1.
That is fast. Citrus needs to get in there ASAP. He'll scout it out now. Remnant forward. No, it's not going to be there. Aegis is picked up by Gabby. GY, he started the fight though, and they may buy Carl with the disruption. Is going to buy a bit of time for the Kunkka to try and get that boat out in time. And he does, but they've already lost Kunkka. Carl is gone. Gabby, he's down his first life, but he does have that Aegis. Meanwhile, Citrus in the backside trying to pick off Zephyr. They will chase down that Wraith King. Meanwhile, Cuckoo does go down to VT faded. Team ORCA just looking a lot stronger when it comes to the Roshan fights. Should be able to at least get this Aegis off Gabby and even find the secondary life. So he does have that refresher shard up, but he is not going to be able to use it. In fact, Citrus is not done yet. The Aghanim Scepter means he can pursue quite far, but Whitemon's going to do his best to try and delay this as much as humanly possible, but of course against the Ag's Ember, you've got to be very cautious yourself to not lose your own life. GY. Going to break the smoke. He's not going to break it yet. It's T1. They're going to wrap around the long way. Though Citrus almost breaks the smoke and does on Zephyr. Moonlight Shadow's there though. T1, who they want to initiate on. It was Menu Pink, but they won't find him. Gabby, he's the one found out, and now BT faded. He'll go right to work. Carl, he's been caught out. He is locked down by the Fiend's Grip of Menu Ping. He needs help right now. It's BT faded. It's going right to work. This Kunkka completely out of mana, completely out of health, still alive, but not for long, as it looks like they'll be grouped up. Though Carl gonna go for the BKB play. He's gonna make it. Mid-team fight. He's gonna make it out. Gabby will do the exact same. They still found two for their trouble. And it seems like ORCA, they are in a great position to try and go for another high ground push.
It's looking pretty rough for T1. The damage out for the VP Faded and his durability makes it very hard to commit. And we saw some really good spacing from Menu Ping all the way at the back to get a good grip off in that fight.
Jump in, Whitemon. Found the Medusa. The arrow is going to land into the boat, but do they have enough damage? Great Nightmare dodge from Menu Ping, but the boat fleet's coming. Carl's got a whole army behind him as the Raw now being committed, but BT Faded still not dying. He's getting low, however. Maybe they finally got him, and they do. They just need the right-click damage of Gabby. They even found Menu Ping, but they won't have the stun. So they got the biggest kill they could have asked for, and they do defend the top racks.
I don't know if you're going to have enough in any sustained fight. It's just difficult to see VT Faded dying in that Lucy anymore.
Well, there's that 5-man smoke, John. They're going to try. Dusa Illusion Runes and Wraithking Illusion Runes going at it in the mid lane. Menu Ping doesn't want to be caught first, but he will be happy to break the smoke as GY has jumped in, but Carl, he found the... No, he hasn't. The Bane, the Nightmare dodge on the X-Pac, but no, they found BT faded. They've got the Dusa. The time lapse was there from Yip to save the day. As now T1, they might be sitting ducks. They're all in the arena. Whitemon's going to drop. BT can get right to work. They do at least kill off GY, but Gabby's going to keep going. As Nightmare again there on BT faded, going to juke out the Roar. But they've got the chains out. Gabby in trouble. He does get petrified there. He's got 2 lives, but he's going to lose one straight off the bat. And another one to come. They've locked him down. They will clean up T1. The defensive capabilities there from ORCA, John, it's just too much.
Gonna hold on for a bit, but the damage out from BT Faded will make short work of those objectives.
Gabby's going to buy back here, I think. You've really got no option. The tier 4 tower's going down, and now he'll commit it. They've got to try one more time here as Carl going to move in with that Scythe device and the Roar out onto the Deucer, but the Nightmare again out. Still the boat fleet will come in, but BT faded. He could not give a crap. He'll stand his ground onto the tier 4 towers. It's gone. While Citrus, he'll move in. He'll go for the man fight. Though Gabby has jumped on the Deucer, but BT faded again. Just could not care less. Gabby is just getting destroyed here by BT. And they are just focusing down the Ancient. As a nice turret does land from Carl, they are going to continue trying with the buybacks out. Carl, he'll be back into this one. BT, though, still proving to be a bit too much. Roar is out. They locked them down for a little bit, but it just doesn't matter. BT, he's finally running low on mana, but they are out of HP on the side of T1 as they're going to get the dieback on Gabby. Tips are out for Citrus as well, and that'll be it. GG for game 1, I think. As it's a 2v4 scenario, they are still not calling a T1. They're going to try to keep defending this Ancient. But how do you do it? Carl, he'll get the boat fleet out again. Citrus is still just going to work here on the Ember though. They are trying to focus on this Medusa. The Torrent Storm is there. Roar is out onto Menu Ping, but the time lapse is going to save his own life. As they've got the Carl Kunkka locked down, and that's the GG call. That'll be enough as they completely wipe them out. Team ORCA just dragging the game out long enough, John, that this draft was just not going to be beat. Game number 2, we'll see if Team 1 can draw out this series or whether Team ORCA can get a 2-0 victory here against T1.
We'll see if anyone catches anyone out. Smokes do break. That is under the vision of ORCA. They are aware. And looks like they might play it safe, although.
It's aggressive play here, but the arrow is going to land. They might just have Menu Ping as the first blood, and they will. Whitemon, he'll be the one to take it. Mind you, so the play, even though it leads to no kill, still means a lot here for T1.
Yeah, that does allow Zephyr to switch lanes now, going top.
Very nice arrow landed there from Zephyr. GY, very low chance of survival here as he doesn't land the spear either. That's the kind of plays you love to see from this Mirana, just constantly rotating.
They will go for a smoke play, look to find someone out, maybe apply that pressure in the top tier 1 afterwards.
We're going to find Whitemon, and that should be a nice easy pick-off if they can land the stun, but Whitemon going to go for the perch, still the stun, does land, and GY will move in. Disruption will be there to buy time as now the arena has been dropped. The spear wasn't an illusion. So they got Whitemon, but now they need to escape the grasp of Cuckoo, who has made his way over. ORCA, though, still feeling rather aggressive, are going to move in now with the Static Storm out. They have caught the Tidehunter, but do they have the damage in time? Not quite. Ravage is there to 4 heroes, and the arrow somehow going through everybody. It went through absolutely everyone. Menu Ping might drop here, and he does. Citrus will TP out, and so will GY.
Yep, that's unfortunate for T1. It looked like they had a good turn. They'll be able to punish the IO, of course, but not the trade-off you wanted. It's still a couple of kills for Ravage. You know, it looks bad, but they stopped the push onto the top tier 1. They stopped progress from ORCA opening up the map a little bit more. They do manage to get a good pick-off on Gabby. That could turn the game around if they find that movement out.
Team ORCA. Gabby would be the big kill they're looking for. They do get the Thunder Strike into the Static Storm. Gabby needs help, and he's not getting it. Whitemon is barely going to make it in time. Carl, they may have made it, but no, the spear is going to land. GY able to get the kill now with a big arena down. Maybe they can find more. Citrus, though, has already dropped, so they need to escape. And with the relocate, they will get GY out of there. They should also find an IO, so not the worst trade in the world here for T1, as they will get a 3-for-1 trade going. But this is going to allow BT Faded to continue pulling ahead of Gabby. And that may be just what ORCA wanted.
You're going to need to drag more than just Carl to save this one.
Oh, certainly so. Relocate, though, is their great force of the rotates. But, oh, they're going to find BT Faded. BT Faded was just farming alone, and he gets caught out. Alright, that's a massive loss there for ORCA, and just a massive error. So where are they gone? Down a bot lane, Arena was dropped onto Gabby. Maybe they can still find this Terrorblade, but the meta has been popped in time, but no, never mind. They've got the stun in from Citrus. And so they are at least going to find a TB trade, but they will lose GY in response.
I mean, we mentioned this early on in Draft Mike, but outside of Ravage, they really are dependent on Whitemon and Zephyr to find angles. If they don't start finding angles, the aggression doesn't come true, and that gives openings to ORCA to play here.
Dance mid lane, who have they got? Cuckoo, he was so close. He was so close to the blink. 50 gold off, but is not going to be able to get it, so GY will have the tip over. I don't think they can test this right now.
No. Not without a Ravage. They don't have something highly mobile to jump in anyway. Zephyr will try. Hang around Roshan. Might get the
Does
jump.
sleep in, but the Ult is going to be there to just lock him down, and they will take him out. Decent attempt, but it's very challenging to try that with the Mirana.
They will go smoke up here, but again, that's into that BKB pickup of Gabby. Could be a bit risky.
Now Team ORCA, they're going to try. Die triangle. Could be the objective, but no, they are going to head through the mid lane instead, where Carl is hanging around and will show himself. This isn't bait either. I think Carl has been caught out. His team is nowhere nearby, but no disruption is there. Whitemon with the blink in may have bought enough time, but Carl is still melting and should drop and will. But can they at least get some trades going? Cuckoo's in with the Ravage. Gabby's trying to get to work onto the left track, and they might just find him and do. Not a bad start for either side as they're onto GY now. Gabby really trying to abuse that BKB timing. Were even forced to relocate out from the IO, but they have not dealt with VT Faded. And so now ORCA, they can run right back in as Gabby has been caught out by GY. Cuckoo has nothing to save him with. Gabby's going to try for the TP play out. He might just make it, but no. Menu Ping's able to take the kill onto the TB, and now they're onto the Tidehunter. Oh, T1, they just look so unsure there, John. Do we keep going? Do we not? And in the end, Team ORCA, they will punish heavily, as it might be a full team wipeout. Whitemon the sole survivor, but not for long, as GY will just hunt him down and spear him out. A real mess here for T1. So I think Team ORCA should just move right into that mid-tier 2 now. That'll be the free shards upgrade here for Team ORCA.
Try to find an angle here. It does fade. There's no sneakiness coming through. That's a big advantage now for ORCA in forcing this fight. If they find a win here, high ground's open.
GY is having a look at this arena. He'll see Zephyr. Carl will show up. Gabby, oh, it was a bait. He moved back, making a move forward. And now they're all trapped in the arena. They can move in with Citrus, and Gabby's already dropping so darn low. He's forced to BKB and just back off. He can't fight into the Mars right now. A big Ravage, though, from Cuckoo might be able to turn it around. As they've got GY down, but no Gabby.
What?
Oh boy, he stuck around. He kept trying to fight this one out, and it does not work. You can't do that without a BKB. So now Cuckoo is going to be sacrificed to Team ORCA. I don't know what to say here, John. T1, they're just not really having it together this game, or rather this series, as Team ORCA just kind of ragdolling Zephyr.
And that silence lingers for a bit if you walk out. He didn't have room for the Sunder. I would have been fine if he just never touched Static Storm. If he managed to get a good Sunder, he might have been able to turn around, find a kill, take away the Aegis.
ORCA might get lucky with a very early timer. We'll see very soon. For T1, I'm sure they'd prefer the later timer if they could. And it's going to be about a minute, so not too bad. Gabby, they're going on to Menu Ping. They're going to try for the Disruptor. Arrows off the mark again, and now they relocate. Back on Menu Ping. T1, well GY, he's in by himself. Spear will not latch, but it won't matter because he's got the arena down. That'll be Whitemon gone. Ravage though is pretty big from Cuckoo. They're trying to do it Citrus. They've lost Carl though. Carl the Viper's gone. So GY, he's gonna go right after the Gabby TB again, and they've got him locked down. Gabby's gone. GG.
Oh my God.
It's just a mess. It just falls apart here for T1 and Team ORCA. I mean, props to them, John. They played fantastic this best of 2, and well, they pull off the 2-0 victory here against T1.
Yeah, it's a huge upset.